Hello everyone, Helvian here. We are back with Volume 12 of Naruto, and it's we're having a really very good one here. Just two very good fights. Although obviously Naruto versus Neji is going to be the very big one here. But before that, look at Kishimoto talking about DVDs and how DVDs are the new thing. And look, 2002 was a different time. Okay, it was a different time. This one's called The Great Fight, um, which isn't taken from my chapter title. So I guess Kishimoto knew that everyone was looking forward to this fight. Yeah. So the strategy for Naruto is trying to fight at a distance because otherwise, the Gentle Fist will fuck his shit up, And to his credit, Neji can't tell which clone, or wait, can't tell the difference between a clone from the original body. So instead he just fights them all, um, and just seamlessly just destroys them all. It's crazy, and then he goes straight into his philosophy about abilities are predetermined at birth, entire destiny. I can see it with these eyes of mine. Which okay, that whole thing about my Byakugan, I can see your destiny. Okay, it's kind of bullshit. Like he can't even see fucking the shadow clones from the real body. How can he see your destiny? I mean, in Boruto, I know Momoshika does something like that. So maybe, and I think maybe Kaguya does that too. I'm not sure. Um, maybe there's something to it, but I think he shouldn't be too relying on his Sharingan or his Byakugan. Did I say Sharingan earlier? Whatever, Byakugan. Um, Yeah, like you don't even have perfect 360 degree vision. You have a blind spot, okay? And maybe that's can be emblematic of Deji's blind spot to the flaws in his ideology. Um, and then Naruto kind of spells out later, so well, I mean we'll get to that, but yeah, um, yeah, those who become Hokage are born with that fate, and you can't get there by trying harder to be pre-selected. And the only thing in common, one shared fate, death. This guy did not talk to Benjamin Franklin, okay? Yeah, he still has the grudge against the main branch. Um, yeah, it made more doppelgangers, and Sakura's worried that he was going to run out of chakra. Kabuto takes over as Ambu guy. Um, yeah, and then with so many clones, he brings out. But no, not yet. Um, and Neji surmises that this one is the real one because he's not fighting. He's just kind of looking at it, the fight. Um, but he was wrong. You know, Naruto. I like how Kiba's got so invested in this. You gotta cheer on the guy that beat you. Because if he loses, that makes you look even worse. You look better if the guy that beats you wins the whole thing. Okay, yeah. Uh, Kim is much fully prepared to lose. Oh man. And yeah, that was chapter 100. So a good message about it being 2 years since. About I guess about 50 chapters come out a year. Just 52 weeks in a year, weekly manga. A break for Christmas and Golden Week, I would assume. Um, I think that checks out. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and into the this is a weird frame. I'm not Neji's there in between two clones. Um, and then he blocks it with a chitin. They just call it rotation. Uh, yeah, it's almost a full 360 degrees. Yeah, and, and then so yeah, basically how the chitin works is he just emits chakra. from all over his body, and then you rotate real fast, your hands real fast and then it's like a absolute defense thing. Um, and you can only gentle fist users can do it because usually if you mint chakra, it's from like it actually says sentences here. It's like from a small point in your body. Um, and even then, Jonan can only do it that greatly. But if you're a master of the physical of the gentle fist, you can like do that, I guess, through your chakra points or whatever. And it's even more powerful than Gaara's. Although I think Gaara's is better just because it's more efficient since he doesn't have to use chakra for that shield. Maybe his defense is Shan's sand armor is better if you incorporate that too. But yeah, yeah. And now he uses the oh wait, also with the knowledge that he learned it independently. So like they had it, but only within the main branch, and he just learned it by himself just because he was that great. Yeah, his brilliance is far beyond what he never imagined. And then he also uses this 8 trigrams ability, 64 palms. Um, just completely, almost completely disrupting his chakra network. So he had 64 the Tenketsu, I would assume. Um, yeah, he's not doing good. Neither is Nata. She's not doing good either. I guess she's still injured from her fight, but you can still stand up. And no, Nata, don't go. Okay, I'm not your enemy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know Neji says he doesn't have a grudge against Naruto. It kind of felt like he was kind of amped up for this fight, but hmm, maybe it just goes to show how little he can't think about Naruto as much as Naruto thought about him. But I mean, I guess in this context, it makes sense. Um, yeah, never give a jerk who goes around calling people failures. Yeah, and then now he talks about Hyuga history. Hmm. Oh, Kabuto. Yeah, the curse mark jutsu. He reveals it. Yeah, it's Manji, not Nazi. Okay, it's Manji. Manji. It's also the same symbol is in the word for Bankai from Bleach. Oh, it's not. It's a bit of a stylized version. Usually it's just straight edge here, not instead of like hook. But yeah. So one thing I was yeah. Well, sorry. Oh, sorry. So on top of the Huga incident here, it's interesting how he says that there was a ceremony in honor of the ruler shinobi, the shinobi ruler of the land of clouds. And that's really all we get to know about this guy. We see his picture here. He doesn't really look like any woman we know from the land of clouds. Like this is not any Raikage. I would imagine. Uh, I don't see a resemblance. But that's not. He's wearing. He's a shinobi, but a ruler. Um, I don't know. Actually, I know. I remember there being seeing like A and B, like Raikage talking about the Hyuga incident, but this doesn't look like them, right? All right, am I tweaking right now? But it's not Daimyo, the shinobi. I don't know. Yep. Yeah. And so it's on Hinato's birthday they visited, which is oh, look at her, she's so cute. But yeah, her she's 3 years old, and it's her birthday, which I think is interesting because um her Hinata's birthday that Kishimoto gave her is like late December. Like I think it's December 27th, and it's interesting that they would go come so late in the year. Um, it should be like snowing or something. Maybe not snowing. Maybe it's just cool outside. But it feels like a weird day for like a lavish ceremony. Someone outside. And it can snow in Konoha. Usually we don't see it. Um, it snows in the last movie though. Naruto the Last. It snows. And I believe an episode of Rock Lee's Springtime of Youth it snows, although that's not really canon. But worth mentioning, I think, maybe, potentially. But yeah, so since it's Towns' birthday, they're here. Neji talks about her, she's cute. Um, is actually, yeah. So um he got his curse mark then when she turned 3, and he talks about how he'll protect her, and yeah, that's cool. But when he fought or to like spar, I guess they oh no, when he fought someone else to spar, he said like he sensed bloodlust in him, so he activated the seal, which made him writhe in pain. So he never forget your place. Um, so that really affected him. It's like it signifies an absolute threat of death. He said imposed by the main branch upon the cadet branch. Um, so yeah, I mean that it's I understand why he wouldn't like that, And when you die and you have this curse mark, it seals away the Bakugans, since they wouldn't like that. Getting into because eye transplants are so easy in Naruto. You can just plop that in. Just plop it up. Uh, yeah, the incident occurred. Someone tried to kidnap Hinata, um, but the masked bandits. Okay, why did they have the guy himself, the ruler, do himself? Yeah, he just wanted, he just wanted the Byakugan. But why would you want the Byakugan when the Sharingan are like down the hall to the left? You know, Sharingan's so much better. Uh, it's only the Cloud. It seems like that really wants. Actually, no. Eventually, the guy from the Mist, Ao, Ao, he gets the Byakugan. So that's okay. Whatever. I talked myself out of that. Yeah. So then they demanded the corpse of Hiyashi. Um, and then Konoha accepted, and then his brother, his twin brother, um, Hiyashi or Hisashi, um, took his place. Um, which I don't get how that works. Surely they would eventually know that it wasn't Hisashi, right? And do the main branch not have any contingency if they get captured? Or because, right? Wouldn't it make sense to have them have some sort of contingency if the main branch member dies and their eyeballs are ripped out? Or what if they rip their eyeballs out while you're alive, Does the curse mark also activate then, or what? Because this curse mark fades only after death, after the secret of the Bakugan doesn't seal away. It's kind of vague here, but I I get, but I get the gist that the secret of the Bakugan only fades or only is sealed in death, but it would make more sense to you know have it sealed if you think your eyeballs about to be taken or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Okay, whatever. But yeah, more importantly, even though they were identical twins with practically equivalent strength, the difference between being born first I mean, for a second, sealed their fates. So each of their fates forever. You know, so it's basically like luck that Hisashi got out first, um, and became the ruler of the main clan instead of the cadet branch. Um, is like, and same is when Naruto is selected to be Neji's, Neji's partner or opponent here. Uh, yeah, yeah, I think you're wrong. Again, I might not much pain you felt when Fallon was killed, but I think you're on to conclude that everyone's destinies are predetermined. And he punches him more. Um, you know, he's if his one shoulder destiny cannot be defied. You know, his father says, "Here's, I wish he could have been born into the main branch." Yeah, and yeah. So how could you understand anything about my fate? About bearing an indelible, inescapable curse. It's like, yeah, I understand it pretty well. Yeah, it's a classic, Naruto sees himself a part of himself in his opponent. Um, and he talks about Hinata and how she's been suffering, trying to change herself to earn respect. Um, like when he was fighting Hinata, Naruto recognizes that when he was fighting Hinata, he seemed to use it as an excuse to beat her up. Like he was basically going for the kill. So it seems like he was trying to defy his fate of being in the cadet branch. Uh, and he got 3 exclamation marks and a twitch. Uh, these Black Ops guys are good. Yeah, yeah, Kabuto's good. And then bam, damn. He could have Kabuto could have easily killed her there, and him too. I wonder why he didn't. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I'll prove you're wrong by kicking your butt. So and yeah, now he's in the state where he's run out of his like chakra. So he now like his in his training he can get the Fox's chakra. Um and yeah, why do you get something so hard to fight your destiny? Someone told me I was a failure. Yeah. Um was that Neji or not? Because Nanta said he was like was it the good failure or whatever? Yeah, he gets the Fox Chakra. Kind of interesting because this isn't like a rage moment. He the Fox is just Karma's just giving him chakra. Um, because he was perfectly coherent here. Um, it's not like a life or death situation. It's sort of life or death situation, but he could have withdrew if he wanted to. But yeah, I guess the Fox has a grudge against. I guess Karma has a grudge against Yuga or something, and he agreed. But yeah, it's like Neji was like, what the fuck? He's like, what the fuck, man? Uh, and don't tell me it's chakra. No, you can't be. This thing gets super repressed. Yeah, when do you get the ability to access chakra by Box? And damn, he has like okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has all tails. Oh, it's not the full cloak. It's just like the chakra is taking form in the form of tails around him. Uh, it still looks cool. Um, and it gives him a lot of power to fight back against Neji. Yeah. Then become Hokage. I'll change the Yu clan. Yeah. You do it. He will change the Yu clan by like knocking up the princess. And then after that they just kind of chill. Um it, it's like there's 3 guys in the Hyuga clan now. It's like Hanabi and or Hanabi, Hisashi, and But it's it's two people there trying to be Musashi. Um, I, I thought it'd be bigger, but in Boruto you only see them. I mean, I guess there's like Hinata still around, but she's a Uzumaki now. I guess she still has the Byakugan. Himawari sort of has the Byakugan, but Kishimoto forgot to put Byakugan in her design, so now she only awakens them when it's comfortable, or when she activates it instead of it always being white eyes, which is not how any other Byakugan works. But it's Boruto, so whatever. uh, but yeah, he uses like kind of like the same move to against Neji here. Um, damn, they're both in like these holes. Um, damn, and boom pops out of the ground like a mole, like a diglet. It's crazy. That goes hard. Yeah, yeah. Believing yourself, you can give you the power to change your destiny. That's great. Naruto wins. All he says that. Oh yeah, I failed Academy graduation exam 3 times because they always tested my weakest ninjutsu, and it was a art of the doppelganger. So his weakest jutsu was the one that is now his signature jutsu. Although, um, and now it's not quite. His introduced as a shadow doppelganger, but the uh the exam tested for the art of doppelganger, not the shadow one. That's a forbidden jutsu that he just uses because he feels like it. And then yeah, but nah, Naruto wins, and then Genma just like fucking tears into him. Like even a caged bird, when it smartens up, will try to open the cage door with the beak, never giving up on his dream to fly free again. This time he got beat. Like what the hell? Um, yeah, Neji's kind of grappling with that, and so he tells the story here. You know, on that day, father was murdered to act as your body double. Like I can understand how he came to that. That's not what happened. So basically, the thing that happened is Hizashi uh, was actually the one gunning for it, and it was Yashi that was. If I get the names wrong, you whatever. His Neji's father was the one that was actually gunning for it, and also they do not look like identical twins here. But that's neither here nor there. But I still don't get how they think that they can get away with this, and how they actually get away with this, since they can easily tell that the leader of the Hyuga clan is still Yashi. Okay, whatever. But yeah, just do this. So he longers onto the main branch, but so he chooses to die protecting his elder brother, not the head of the main branch. Um, so he feels his own will is awakened. I don't know. This guy's a suicidal maniac or something. I don't know. I just want to choose his own destiny. It's like, what a convenient explanation. It sounds exactly something the main branch would cook up to placate me, especially after all this time. That's true. That's true. And you think so? That's why I waited this. I don't know why he waited this long because I feel like because of this he should have told him earlier. But he just wanted to relay his brother's final words not as the head of main branch, but as is actually his older brother. Damn. Yeah. You still can't be entirely certain whether people's fates simply coast along like the clouds in the sky or if each person can choose his own path to follow. and the designation might be the same either way, which is something I was thinking of because I mean, basically the problem. I think the problem with Neji's philosophy here is that it's kind of unfalsifiable. But the problem with also him is that he was making claims about like, okay, say destiny exists. Okay, how do you know what your destiny is? You can't you can't know what your destiny. If everything is predetermined, you can't. The best you could do is just point to things that have already happened and claim it was fate, with not much evidence. Um, and this it goes into philosophy with like determinism and compatibilism and libertarianism, I believe, but not the political libertarianism. But I'm actually more of a determinist, but I just think that like it doesn't make it you can't like know what the destiny is. Like you can't do that, man. um, you can't. You're no prophet. Even your Byakugan can only see things well in our current timeline. If anything, the Sharingan has better chance of detecting fate because it gives you some precog. Um, but Byakugan, no, you have a blind spot, man. You can't. How are you thinking you can see fate in with that? But I do like how Neji um is arc ends because you find to follow your own path, and that's what Naruto's all about: following, making your own path, your ninja way, um, as a consequence of like it's sort of a consequence of, and we talked about it earlier, how the ideals of a shinobi don't match up to how humans can actually behave. Um, and so you have to every individual has to basically form their own path, and I think that's really good. Um, yeah, Neji, good fight stuff. Um, cool, yes. Um, and and yeah, there. So the Sasuke is late boy. Um, but the Kaze Kage really wants to see Gara fight Sasuke. Totally not because it's part of the plan. To destroy Konoha. But if they frame it like everyone just wanted to see this one fight. um it's just one fight. Not Neji, not anyone else at the finals, just Gara versus Sasuke. Because Sasuke is special because he just has the Sharingan. Um so they cut the next fight, and then Conquer was like, I give up, one page. Like, right? Like, does the page after within a page after it was announced, he's like, I give up. And then immediately Tamar is like, okay, bitches, I'm fighting. And then Naruto just throws down Shikamaru. I like the contrast between the two siblings. Like Kankuro is so quick to give up because he doesn't want to reveal Kara's hidden mechanisms. Um, he could have. I don't know. I feel like Kankuro didn't fully think things out because it's not okay. Wait, you think he was saying something earlier about this? Without Sasuke, our plan is ruined. This is starting to look bad. So shouldn't it make more sense for Kankuro to try to draw out a fight and then before use revealing the hidden mechanisms, just withdraw? Because it's in his interest that Sasuke show up. Um, But like, it's lucky for him, this Mari fight kind of draws on it for a bit. But yeah. And speaking of this fight, well, yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's a fight that's aged, I think, pretty well. It is a lot more interesting thinking about this fight in the context of him eventually marrying Tamari. Uh, I guess you might be able to sense some chemistry between them. Um, but I don't know how much I like Shikamaru in this fight because he's so sexy, man. I can't stand the idea of losing to a girl. I guess I'm in. That's the thing. That's the one thing that gets him motivated. Uh, is to just not lose to a girl. Okay. Um, new second character popularity poll. Naruto in first. Kashi second. Haruka in third is crazy, man. He's it. I wonder how many these are people who don't keep up with Naruto, but just remember Haruka being good in the first chapter, and just sent vote for Haruka anyways because they just want to vote. I don't know how else you can justify Haruka in third. Not that he's bad, but like I don't know. Not that characters without much screen time are necessarily worse than characters without screen time, but man. And he was good in the first chapter. I'm not denying that. Um, but still, man. Third, okay. Above Sasuke, who has a lot more development so far. Um, and then fifth place Rock Lee, that makes sense. Sixth place Fanta, that makes sense. 14th Sakura? Okay, I guess. Was there big soccer haters in Japan at this time? Or still exist? Maybe. Haku so much above Zabuza is interesting. But the craziest thing, maybe the craziest thing is the fourth Hokage, in 12th with 402 votes. Not a single line of dialogue, and this weird ass haircut that eventually retconned away for good reason. Damn. You think they knew he was Naruto's father? I guess, or yeah, he's above Sakura. How is he above Sakura? How is fourth Hokage above Sakura? I don't get it. They can't. They don't even have his name. I mean, they don't even know he's Minato. Damn it. Gama went to ninth place ahead of Jiraiya. Interesting. He didn't really do much, although it's better than fourth Hokage, 402 votes. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Everyone knows Japan popularity poll results be wilding. Um. Oh, did they weirdly know his Tachi's name? I forget that we knew his. Whatever. I forget. Whatever. Oh, oh, you didn't hear that. Okay, fine. Oh, yeah. Um. Yeah, I like how a boy can't. As long as a boy can just clobber a girl either, and then not it was like, knock her off, kick her butt, 16 punch combo. That's great. And yeah, this it's like I do think this kind of reveals like some of the contradictions of sexism because like yeah, I can't I have to I have to showcase my superiority, but I also can't um kick you. Um it's like okay, well, how does that make sense? Isn't also part of masculinity to showcase your superiority to other men to dominate as the alpha male? How come you can cover them but not women who you also wish to be showcase that you're superior to? It's Oshikamaru. Why did it have to be? Why did he have to be the sexist one? No one has been a sexist in the series as Shikamaru. Like no older character has been this sexist. Okay, I don't get it. And like, okay, why do I always end up finding girls? That's a good question though. Both this match and then the preliminaries, he fought a girl. Um, maybe it's because God hates you. You know. What a drag, huh? Yeah, what a drag. Yeah, Kamaitachi Wind Scythe. I think there was a translation earlier, but it's a reference to a yokai that's like very fast. If you want to see Kamaitachi in like a shonen manga, there's that arc in Ushio Tutora. I don't know if it was in the anime, probably. I forget. But it's in the manga. If you want to read about that. The manga's not as good as Naruto though. Rip. Okay. So this is more the IQ fighting. Um, she wants to stay away from Shikamaru's shadow, and it's lucky for her since she's a ranged weapon user. Um, but if she's back here, she's good since Shikamaru can only extend his. Okay, Shikamaru can extend his shadow, but he cannot reduce the surface area. So the farther he extends it, the skinnier it is. But he only needs it to be. Doesn't need to be that thick to possess. However, he does need to touch the enemy's shadow. Not the enemy, the enemy's shadow. Or maybe just the enemy is fine too. I don't know, whatever. But he can sense his shadow through another shadow as an extension. Although he can't like control the shadow of that isn't his. He can just only use it as like a stopgap, you know. Like this is the length of his shadow, but he can also use the the wall shadow to extend it. So yeah, naturally would want to keep his back to the wall, so he's farther away from the wind scythe. Um, yeah, that's how he rolls. And then now we get the big reveal that Shikamaru is a big genius who's never lost to Asuma and Shogi, and that he's an IQ of over 200. But just a second. So yeah, over 200. That's some shonen exaggeration stuff there. I think theoretically, I guess possibly have an IQ test that could go over that number, but that's a bit. Eh, typically, they don't discern much after like about 170, from what I can tell. Um, I would suspect whatever test IQ test Asuma could give um Asuma could give Shikamaru, just by convincing him is another puzzle, you know. Yeah, 200. That's whatever. Like what it is greatly exaggerated, shonen intelligence, but he did. I think later he says he thought of like 20 different strategies or whatever.
Mhm.
This is I don't. Where was this intelligence earlier? I mean, like I said, he was smart in the fight against Kin. I think it was Kin Kitsuchi. Um, he wasn't that smart. Like, not that smart, man. So yeah, he tries to like um she yeah uses kunai um and then distract her because he was buying time for the sun to go down because it'll give us more time for the shadow to increase. Um, how which is why I say that this fight probably took a bit since the sun came down, it's a discernible amount. Um, yeah. But that one also was a diversion from this, which would also draw a shadow. Um, yeah, that's basically recapping everything we already know. Um, but this is from Tamari's perspective. Um, which also showed that she did a good job herself in trying to outsmart Shikamaru. Um, but she didn't realize that the shadow went in the hole. Now she's possessed. Yeah, this thing was just a maneuver. And then he gives up. uh, yeah. Basically, he used up too much chakra doing all the shadow positions in session, and it was 10 more seconds. Oh, he's 200 more moves. Jesus Christ. So maybe okay. Maybe he's just maybe Shikamaru just is him. You know. Uh, yeah, this funny stuff seems to me to drag. One match is enough for me. I guess he did things right since he's the only one to be turned into a Chunin from this one. Man, that's cool. Um, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but I thought I remember some people saying that Shikamaru realistically won this fight, even though he forfeited. Although it's kind of clear from what he says that, like, if he didn't forfeit, he would have like lost anyways because he can't hold her for much longer because he's out of time. I don't know. Maybe if he threw a fast kunai, but I assume he would have thought of that or something. Um, yeah, I'll say Tamari did win by her own efforts, but mostly I think it just seems that she just had the advantage because of her uh powers that long range fire, I guess. But that's not bad either. That's not a diss against her. Yeah, that'll be it for this volume. Tune in next time. I believe the Konoha Crush is starting then, as Sasuke and he's gonna come back and he's gonna fight Gara, right? And then Konoha Crush. Okay. Well, see you then. Have a good one.